In today's Wellness Wednesday, it's an important habit that we're all encouraged to get started as a kid, brushing your teeth. This morning, we're joined by Dr. John Yukich from Pediatric Dental Center of North Idaho and the Idaho State Dental Association. Dr. Yukich, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course. Now today we're going to talk more about how to properly care for your children's teeth. In February is National Children's Dental Health Month. So can you tell us more about how this all got started?
Sure. The American Dental Association back in 1949 created the National Children's Dental Health Month. Back then it was just a day, but in the 80s they made it in a month-long in observance. And since then it has been a month of basically bringing awareness to the benefit of good children's dental health.
Okay, gotcha. Now, what would you say would be the most common dental issue for children?
Yes. So obviously dental decay is the answer for that. And it is the #1 most common chronic disease around the world, more common than the common cold and asthma. And it is one of those things that about 25% of our population will get a cavity by the age of 5 years old. So it's something that we deal with on a daily basis for sure.
Gotcha. Okay, that sounds about right. Now, for first-time parents out there, what are some significant milestones that maybe they should be aware of?
Sure. So obviously their first tooth coming in is a big milestone for them. And we like to get the kids into the dental office around the age of 1 or within 6 months of getting that first tooth. And that gives us the opportunity to educate the parents on some of the preventative habits that will benefit and hopefully prevent these cavities from happening, and give them the tools and resources necessary to kind of walk through those initial years of their kids and preventing cavities.
And around what age would you say is a good time to first bring their or your children into the dentist?
Yeah, around the age of 1 is probably the best time to create that dental home.
Okay, good to know. Good to know, as I have a 2-year-old and I have yet to do that. So that's happening probably when I get home. I'm going to be making some calls. But on that note, mentioning that I have a 2-year-old, she's not awful with brushing her teeth. She'll let me do it sometimes, but in a lot of cases, she'd, of course, rather be doing something else. She fights me on it. So maybe for parents that are in a similar situation like myself, do you have any tips to maybe get those young children to want to make sure that they do brush their teeth daily?
Yes, it is a challenge, and it's a common thing that we hear on a regular basis. So my own children were not that easy to brush as well. And so we do say try to get in there and establish good brushing habits in the morning and in the evening. As adults, brushing for 2 minutes is kind of the recommended time. But for kids, they usually don't require as much time. Getting the opportunity to get in there with a toothbrush, and even when they're younger, if they're a little bit more hesitant, using a little wet rag or some of the dental wipes can help even more so than getting a toothbrush in there, which I find that the kids just want to be able to be more independent and do it themselves. So it's one of those things that we as parents want to try to get in there and help them as much as we can to prevent the cavity production.
Yep, I understand that, and she doesn't mind doing it herself, but it's just a matter of doing it correctly, which we're still working on. So,
Sure.
All right. So for those looking for more information on any of these topics here, where can they go?
Yes, they can go to the American Dental Association, ADA.org, or the American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, AAPD.org.
Perfect. Easy enough. All right. Joining me this morning has been Dr. John Yukich from Pediatric Dental Center of North Idaho, as well as the Idaho State Dental Association. Thanks so much for being here and all the great tips today.
Yes, thank you very much.